So it appears Twitch has finally started enacting on its terms of service rules on copyrighted material. This goes for music and watching videos and things like that. So what is all this about? What's happening, and what can you do to help yourself and prevent your channel from ever getting a strike or anything like that? Stay tuned, guys. We're gonna get over it right now. Basically what happens, this all started blowing up both yesterday and today, that Twitch was actually enacting on its terms of service in respect to copyrighted material. To read it verbatim, Twitch respects the intellectual property of others and follows the requirements set forth by the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA, and other applicable laws. If you are the copyright owner or agent thereof and believe that content posted to the Twitch service infringes on the use of your copyright, please submit a notice following our DMCA guidelines, which with further information about our policies, including what to include in your notice and where to submit your notice. Basically what this is it follows the same rules as YouTube. Do not use copyright material inside of your content. However, Twitch has been pretty small enough in order to avoid anything like this actually happening. With the outbreak of COVID, you've seen a lot of other creators from different mediums come over to Twitch for its beautiful broadcasting service in order to interact with its viewers and still place content out there in a live setting, such as DJs and musicians and whatnot. With all this has gotten Twitch a lot of extra attention, as we've seen in the numbers based off the Stream Elements reports for this last month. Basically, what is happening now is people are taking notice of all the streamers that are using other people's music in their own content, either be for background or for analysis or what have you. What this is now presided and what you're seeing here over on Twitter, and here are some linked tweets. You have Jake and Bake saying, any other streamers get hit with some copyright stuff recently? The heck are we supposed to do? I can't go through 100,000 clips and delete anything that has music in it. Scary. If things continue this way, doesn't that mean 90% of streamers on Twitch are donezo? And basically down here below, it shows all the copyright infringements. How this used to kind of be handled, at least in the VOD format, was they would go ahead and mute the VODs with the section of the copyrighted clips. This was a solution, probably more to protect Twitch's ass than it is to protect the streamer, because Twitch also has to deal with all this headache as well. But now it actually appears that they're starting to enact on it, having strikes placed on the accounts, temporary bans or temporary suspensions, up to and including bans if it's multiple infractions. As you can see here with Fusili, I've been issued 2 copyright strikes on my channel, both from clips over a year old in the past week, and told that if they found one more violation of my clips, my Twitch account would be permabanned. And it shows the appropriate documentation sent from Twitch in regards to what is happening. You're going to be seeing a lot of outrage based off of this because people don't want their content to be messed with, if that makes any sense, right? People like to have background music that they enjoy, that they can show other people, and I don't really think that that's necessarily a bad thing. However, that does still fall upon copyright infringement, right? Because you can't go playing somebody else's music on your content without paying them royalties for it. They got to get their cash somehow as well. So like, this kind of puts everybody in a tough situation. So you're seeing this all over Twitter right now. Unfortunately, my Twitter's become, streamer Twitter, with people basically saying, hey, now I need to go and delete all my clips and my VODs because of all this music, and figure out what to do from there. So it's going to be really interesting here for a little bit on Twitch, where it's going to be fascinating to see who's actually going to get permabanned on this, because that could happen. Now, granted, hopefully Twitch will be able to go back and appeal all of this. I don't think that the statute of limitations should last that long. I think that you should still remove the VODs. I think that Twitch still should inform the broadcaster of what is actually happening and why all these things are being removed, or give them the opportunity to remove it themselves. So hopefully they won't go through permabanning anybody, but I mean, obviously we're gonna have to see. If people are now starting to take notice of all the DMCA violations that do occur on Twitch, and there's a lot of them, you could start seeing even major TV networks coming down to this, from everybody watching Gordon Ramsay and TV shows all over Twitch as well, in the Reacts Andy kind of format and the just chatting. I could definitely see that happening. This could definitely be a thing that occurs. I think that it might need to be a little bit more widespread for that to happen, but regardless, you should start looking at your content now and seeing if there's anything involved that could be considered a DMCA violation. You do not want to get hit with this. Like as mentioned before, if you get 3 strikes on your channel, much like YouTube, you get yeeted off the platform, permabanned. gone, deleted from existence. And does anybody really want that? I don't think so, especially if you're starting to make a name for yourself on Twitch, or if you're like a lot of these popular streamers who are currently getting hit with it as well. It's a pretty scary scenario for a lot of people. So what can you do in order to help this? Well, there's a lot of free DMCA music out there. I'm going to give a shout out here to Harris Heller, who puts out Stream Beats. It's on every major streaming platform, and it is DMCA free music that you can use for undertones in your music, or for undertones in your stream. What this does is just give background noise to kind of bridge the silence a little bit, because the silence does get a little awkward, especially in a streaming environment, both for the broadcaster and for the viewers themselves. Stream Beats is something that I use very regularly. I feel like I'm shilling this, and I'm really not trying to, but it's very good low-key lo-fi music that's just good background noise for the background of your streams. You can go about looking up and seeing if there's any other royalty-free music that you're able to use and make a playlist that way. I know, like, there's a bunch of sites dedicated to this. A lot of times you'll have to pay a subscription fee, but better than getting your channel taken down. I would also highly recommend that all of the Reacts Andes people like stop watching TV shows on Twitch as content. As I said, it may not happen just yet, but it will be a matter of time before TV networks and popular personalities in that TV sphere take notice, and we'll start flagging those channels as well. Like I said, nobody wants to get the strikes. I don't think Twitch has done a terrible job at regulating this in the past and just kind of letting it be the Wild West, which is kind of what people want it to be. However, as said in Devin Nash's video, the DMCA issue on Twitch, I'm going to link it down in the description below as well to definitely go watch. This is basically a long time coming. YouTube's pretty much taking care of that algorithmically, and so you don't really need to, like, if there's an issue, you can go and correct it. And if it keeps going, then obviously you'll get strikes and flags on your channel as well, resulting in the same effects. If Twitch is finally taking notice, it's going to be hard hitting for probably a lot of the broadcasters here on Twitch. It is something that everybody can overcome, though. We just all have to recognize this is what happens when your platform begins growing, right? If you're starting to see more people come on board, if you're seeing more broadcasters come from different spheres, this is for sure going to happen, because there's just more eyeballs on it, right? And there's more people that are getting mad about their content being used in a manner that they don't want, or they haven't agreed to, or they're not seeing any royalties from, which is actually more of the case. They just want their cash, right? So don't be surprised if you start seeing them. I personally have been going through and downloading all of my clips, at least. I don't want to necessarily lose all those memories that we've made on the channel itself. They'll probably never get used again. They're probably just for me, but it's good to kind of keep those, but then delete those as well, especially if there's music involved. Just be safe, guys. Don't take any unnecessary risk thinking that you're not going to be seen because you're a lower level broadcaster. It could happen to anybody. So once again, that is the DMCA issue on Twitch. We do stream every day on twitch.tv/NedleyTV with Stream Beats in the background, might I add. So definitely go give that a follow there. We could talk more about this. I love talking about Twitch stuff. I love talking about the streaming platform as a whole. It's fascinating to me. It's endlessly entertaining and endlessly educational. Don't forget to give this video a like if you found anything in here informative, or if you liked any of it. Hit that subscribe button up top as well to see when we post new videos. We are pushing for 3 a week. They're kind of about Twitch stuff and then about some game stuff as well. So just take a look at the videos as well, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.